everyone, it's Angelica, Cheyenne, aka the Chocolate Diva. Today I'm in the studio with Lijah T.
Hey, what's happening though?
Hey, my name is Pat Savvy, rapper, sound engineer.
I'm Dominic, aka 24, producer, sound engineer.
My name is Nick Rage and I'm producer.
And this is the Chocolate Diva Chronicles. Stay tuned.
Doing good. How you doing today, Miss Diva?
I'm doing fabulous.
Okay, I see you.
I'm enjoying this weather, although it's kind of hot. But
Yeah.
now, I like to start off my Wednesdays newly with a Way Back Wednesday story.
Okay.
So just to give the audience a little bit more knowledge of who you are, what is your Way Back Wednesday story?
My Way Back Wednesday story. Whew. Got a couple of things. I'll make it basic. Rapping bass. So
Okay.
I started rapping because I used to play football at Cal Lutheran University.
All right.
But due to, a little career-ending injury, blew my knee out. I really couldn't bounce back. So, I just had to turn to a little music. Then,
Okay.
we just been running ever since. It started in 2016. Then, now we here. So
you've been doing this relatively new.
Yeah.
So you haven't been like some people been rapping their whole lives.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So you just like, I'm going to start rhyming.
Yeah, because honestly, I grew up on hip-hop like everybody did, of course. And, I memorize like every song I listen to. Like you can play anything on the radio, I know it. So it just
I'm like that myself.
Yeah, it just came natural. So like when I wanted to start making music, I was like, tired of mumble rap and stuff. So.
You know what? I'm not gonna speak on that because I'm not gonna lie. I do like Lil Uzi's character.
You're right, yeah.
I like him as a person, but in regards to hip hop, I just think it's something totally new.
Yeah.
Now you said you played football. How long were you playing football until the injury?
Man, I played football since I was 6 years old.
Oh, Pop Warner?
Yep, Pop Warner days to shoot college.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay, now look, this is no shade, but you're a leaner guy. Mm-hmm. So what position did you play? You must have been fast.
Yes, I played quarterback. I played receiver, defensive back. I was a kick and punt returner, slot receiver. I played everything.
You played everything?
Everything.
Okay. Now, when I was a little kid, I never played football, obviously, but I always had guy cousins and stuff. So I feel like if you can throw one ball, I used to play basketball, you can throw another. So for you, what was your style? Because I know athletes have a different style, especially when it comes to being quarterback or wide receiver.
My style, it's kind of funny. Not trying to be funny or nothing. I played against Randall Cunningham team.
Okay.
In high school, and he honestly.
Who is that, by the way?
Randall Cunningham. He's an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback.
You know what?
Okay,
look.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know that thing right there.
Okay, you looking at me like, how do you not know who this is?
Randall Cunningham.
I don't follow sports in that way. I could play sports, but my dad probably would know exactly who you're talking about. That's why I just wanted to ask. I was like, I don't know if they like a newbie, like a rookie. I didn't know. Why are you laughing at me? Like,
Hey, I'm sorry. It's all good.
Okay, so he's a big guy.
Yeah, he was a big
timer.
NFL legend. And,
Okay.
He was standing next to my father, and he was like, your son reminds me a lot of myself when I was playing. And my dad was like, oh, that's my kid. He was like, for real? He was like, oh, dang. Yeah, so that was my style. Like, I was a quarterback that was athletic.
Yeah. So when you're a little kid, I don't know, do you guys do tackle or is it flag when you're little? And
I started off tackle.
Okay, so you was from the jump.
Yeah, from the jump.
Now, what was because I asked, because I know at my old middle school that when we have flag football, we didn't do tackle. Sometimes the girls would get on it. So did you ever play with girls, against girls?
Honestly, I had when I was 7, I had a girl that was on my football team.
Okay, I know she was dope.
Huh?
I know she was
Yeah,
dope.
she was pretty good. She played free safety, like real talk, like because her dad was a coach too. So like she already had like football IQ, like so she really knew what she was doing. So she did her thing.
Now, what was the injury that took you out? Because you said you got injured, that kind of stopped everything.
So I was crazy part is it was in the scrimmage, literally a week before kickoff, and we were in a purple and gold scrimmage against our team. So it was an in-team scrimmage.
Right.
So we were like getting out of fall camp. And we was playing on this little crappy field, I can't lie, like little holes in it and stuff. And I was supposed to be done for the day. Like I was walking out the field, taking my stuff off, and I had to do another drive.
Yeah.
Then I go back on the field, and I was running the route, and I caught the ball. But then when I looked down, I already stepped in a pothole. Then I tried to turn, and my knee just snapped.
Now, okay, don't laugh, but remember that meme that was going on a few years ago where there was this basketball player and his bone popped out of his skin? Did anything pop out, or you
No,
just...
nothing popped out, but I blew my knee out though.
Oh.
Yeah, I walked off the field though. Had to thug it out.
But I know you was dying. I know you was like...
Man, I was sitting there and I was like, damn. And I was like, my knee is on fire because it just felt like it was just burning.
Right.
And then I looked down and it was like, it started to swell up and I was like, oh yeah, it's a wrap.
Oh, I knew you probably was heartbroken, but look, you found a new passion and you good at it, you know.
Honestly,
so I guess everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, since we're on our way back Wednesday story, and this is going to be kind of the, I want to say, outline for the rest of the interview. When it comes to hip hop and rap, who would you say your favorite rapper is?
My favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Right now or of all time?
Let's go with all time.
All time is DJ Quick. Can't even front. I can't front. I love
Born
that.
and raised in
I love that dude.
Oh, okay. Now, I will have to ask why, just to be objective. I know why, but for other people who have different artists in mind, why DJ Quick?
Because honestly, that dude literally produced his own music, mixes, masters, and does everything. And honestly, that was the first CD I bought when I was like 6. Even though it was already out, like the CD came out. His first CD came out before I was born. But that was literally the first CD I got that I heard was Quick is the Name.
That's what's up. Well, with that being said, we're going to go to quick commercial break with that DJ Quick song. And I'm just going to pull it up here right now because I feel like DJ Quick is dope, but he's kind of like overshadowed by so many other great legendary rappers.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
He was the engineer of Tupac's album All Eyes on Me.
There you go. And no one knows. And he's so low key with it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do it for clout, but because he knows he's dope.
Man, he the OG. Quick is the name.
You know, he know he's dope. But with that being said, I just feel like we gotta do it one time for Quick. Hopefully, I will get to interview one day because he is a legend. But we gonna go to quick commercial break with DJ Quick is the name. So we're back, everybody. That was DJ Quick. Quick is the name.
Hey.
So I did that little commercial break because we're joined by some more people of his team, Lijah T's. So now we have Nick, we have Dominic, and we have Stacy. So I like to know who's in the room with me at all times, just to, you know.
You know, she alert.
Yeah, I'm very alert.
Showing her P's and Q's.
So with that being said, kind of explain who you are. I know that mic isn't on, but they can still hear you.
Nick, Nick don't like talking that much, but he
Are
gonna
you
get
shy?
put on the spot.
You shy?
Yeah, Nick, he make beats. Man, tell the people it's good, bro. Stop being scared.
I produce. I just started producing maybe 5 months ago.
Okay.
So I'm just producing for our group Envision.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at you. You kind of look like an Abercrombie and Fitch model a little bit.
You know what's crazy? We was talking about this earlier. He was like, we was sitting there talking about house, so we was like, yeah, bro, you probably work there. You look like one of them dudes in the front.
That's why he walked in, and I was like, I wasn't really ready, you know, because I expected like a hip hop entourage, you know. So these guys walk in, I'm like, oh, hello.
That's why we called Envision.
Nice watch, by the way.
Oh,
okay, so we also have Stacy rocking the all-purpose Laker jersey and hat. So what is your addition to Lijah T?
Oh man, I've been making music with this guy for about a year now. If he hasn't already talked about it, we have a team called Envision. We're a entertainment collective, but I spit bars.
I love how properly you said that.
I spit bars.
Spit bars.
I be spitting bars. I make beats. I mix. I master.
Okay.
I do a lot. We do everything.
On the come up.
Been making music since I was like 6 years old. So.
You know what? You all could actually had a mic, to be honest. But since it is focused on Lijah, I'm going to get back to him in one moment. Like I said before, I'm very alert. And that last but not least.
You all good,
last but not least, Dominic. I don't know why I heard Tom when you first walked in here.
He do look like
I heard Tom, right? Like Tom, that's no shade, no tea.
What's
Tom
your
from
name?
MySpace.
My name is Tom.
Don't he look like Tom from MySpace, though?
Let me get your page right real quick.
That's pretty much
And
it.
he was everybody friend on it. You know, remember on MySpace how he started on your top 8? Like you had no
felt
choice. Like Tom was in there.
But you felt so fly though. I had my MySpace at 11. I could say it because my mom already knew, and it was shut down real quick. But Tom, you thought you was popping. It's like, ooh, Tom's following you. People say Tom follow everybody.
Everybody.
And you couldn't unfriend Tom.
Yeah.
Tom
You couldn't. And I'm confused about that. I'm like, man, like everybody else, but Tom's sitting there with that picture.
What about no like Tom?
Tom was a homie. Tom went out wrong though. Mark just swooped in, and that was it. So
Mark was cool, man. Mark was the chill one.
He got straight hooked.
Yeah.
Straight cooked out the game.
The funny part about Mark is Mark went to go work for Tom. He wanted to work for MySpace. They didn't want to have him. So he said, he was like, forget everybody. I'm going to do something bigger. And that's just, it's not funny for Tom. R.I.P. Tom. Anyway, Dominic.
The brother's gone.
So what is your contribution to Lijah T?
I met him actually working with another guy who that situation didn't work out, but this did work out of that. And
I can't see you.
Oh,
I like to see who I'm talking to.
I got you. So that the people we were working with at the time didn't work out, but we ended up getting together after the event that we were doing together with somebody else, and so now I produce for him. I produce for actually everybody on our.
Since y'all all want to hype on the mic, I'm actually gonna have y'all all get on the mic just because.
This dude, I don't know about that, man. See,
See,
look, I told you, like, he just.
I get a little shy.
You know that person that just won't. You know that person that just won't do it.
Right.
That's
Nick.
him the last time he was on a radio
Right.
show.
I brought him on a little show I do. He was like, I make beats, and that was it. And just walked off the mic. I was
That's
like,
just funny.
Okay, so well, it's good to know that you guys are also invested in Lijah because Lijah does have real talent. When he hit me up on Instagram, which is not uncommon for people to message me, but he was like, "Hey, I want to be on your show," and I'm very apprehensive because I only really like to deal with people who are really serious about the craft. He was like, "I want you to really check it out," and I listened to his song, and first of all, I loved his intro because you don't hear that. You don't hear a lot of people have intro to their albums anymore. And on top of that, the intros he was using, like for one of his LPs, he had used the Higher Learning, a scene from Higher Learning. And that's like one of the dopest movies, saddest but dopest movies of all time, in my opinion. I feel like Ice Cube's character was priceless. So I thought it would be really cool to have him. I'm glad you're here. Now, I did do some Instagram snooping just because I'm nosy. Now, I saw a lot of things, but this one was really cool. You graduated from Pasadena City College, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Now, what program did you graduate from there?
Social science department.
Okay, so like sociology and stuff like that?
Yeah, dealing with like delinquents and like bad kids and stuff like that.
Okay, so why specifically that? Because that correlates a lot to what you rap about. So why did you decide that you wanted to go into that field academically?
Well, honestly, because, you know, my parents did raise me right. They did. They honestly did. Took me out the environment. And but, you know, I had friends that still dealt with that, you know, situations like that. So I lost one of my closest friends in 2015. Well, not my friend, my cousin.
Well, that's still fair. You said that like
that's
it
what
was
I'm saying.
even
Like,
better.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like
yeah.
that. But, like, you know, I
was
lost some
family.
friends like the same year. But, you know, I think that's why. Because I could reach out to those people still. But, you know, still be able to walk up in Cal Lutheran and still do my thing. So I could be, it's the best of both worlds.
Okay. That is really good to hear. And also it's really, you don't hear that often. I think in a time where there's always an emphasis placed on making a lot of money, which is fine. I think people should make as much money as they can. However, it's always good to reach back and help those who maybe can't otherwise help themselves, you know? So it's good that you bring awareness to it in your music as well as you're trying to do it from the outside as a person coming in to help. So where did your rap style derive from?
Man, that's a good question, honestly. I listened, when I first started rapping, I listened to a lot of Dom, a lot of Quick, Pac, K-Dot, everybody you could think of. Like, honestly, I was just really just trying to study everyone before I started.
And here's the thing, because you mentioned Dom Kennedy, and if you're from the West, especially if you up from, like, Bay Area, you know who that is. When I was listening to your music, I heard a lot of Dom Kennedy, like, on everything. I was trying to pick out your, like, because I am a hip-hop head. I grew up with it. And so for me, it's only natural you're going to hear influences from other people and other artists. And that's not always a bad thing. But when I was listening to your music, I was like, he sounds like someone, but not really, which is good because you're still individual. So I did hear a lot of Dom Kennedy. Now, how did you cultivate your sound so you were uniquely different from other artists around the area?
Honestly, I didn't really go out and I asked people for their opinions on what they wanted to hear out of me. I kind of just made what I want. I made what I liked, honestly. I really didn't care if you didn't like it or not. I just made what it sounds appealing to me. And honestly, that's what me and him did. Honestly, like when I first met him, we made a song a week later.
Yeah, man. It was...
Then ever since then, like every time we make a song, it just gets better and better and better and better. It's just progression.
Right. Now, how did you guys meet? I know you said y'all came together. I don't remember exactly how.
I met him because we lived in these apartment complexes together in Thousand Oaks.
Okay.
And I was just rehabbing my leg, like just walking around and stuff. So I was just walking in the gym to shoot hoop. And they moved in recently, and so I opened the door. Like I heard people in there first. I was like, man, I'm gonna go home. Then I was like, nah, forget that. I'm gonna walk in there. As soon as I opened the door, he was like, what's good, bro? I was sitting, I was like, what's happening? He was like, man, ain't no black people in here, man. I was sitting. It was so funny.
That was a very suburban area, for lack of a better word.
You have no idea how happy I was.
Man, it was crazy.
Oh
So,
God.
like, they came through the house and stuff, and I was like, oh, yeah, bro, come through. And, like, he even told me.
I rap.
Yeah, I was like, I rap, bro. I just started. I was like, I ain't the greatest. I was like, I got a flow. Then he was like, all right, bro, I'm going to come through. So then him and his boy came through, and they told me, they was like, we was kind of cautious at first because, nobody really just be like, oh, come through the house, like, off the rip. But I was like, hey, man, I'm just, I'm a welcoming individual, like,
Especially when you're the only people of color in the same area.
Yeah,
So
like, you
I
really
bet
gotta
you
roll
was
with
happy
them.
to see Stacy. Now, we got a little bit of a reverse Oreo going on here. So
I'm dying.
Hey, nah, hold on. This dude Egyptian.
we got
He
the
Egyptian,
vanilla.
though.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He's more African
Yeah.
than all of us.
Yeah.
Really? So you're okay.
Technically, I'm from Egypt. Technically.
Okay, how's that technical? Are you like
It's
one?
It's from my mom's side.
Dom, you gotta let it
Can,
be.
but can you go back further enough? Because I don't want I'm 110th Egyptian. Like, is it?
I'm like, I don't know, more Egyptian than I am anything else. So technically,
You feel me? You feel me?
Okay, well he got a lot of motherland in him. I respect it.
I've been to Egypt. If
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
So how did you meet them, Dominic and Nick?
Well, I met Lijah before I met anybody else. We did one of the guys we were working with. We did a show together. All of us were at a show. I was helping him engineer his sound for his concert, and Lijah was performing that same night. And so after we were talking, actually no, it was before. We were in the green room and we were talking about music, and it turns out we actually go to the same school, which is awesome. And so that was kind of like the first thing, like, oh, we got something in common already. So he listens to some of my music, I listen to his music, and the next thing we know, I'm producing for him. And and then we were actually in the studio at our school one night, and he asked Stacy to roll through with our other friend Wasim, and so they came through, and I met Stacy, and I own a record label back in LA, it's Blueprint Records, and we together had this really good idea to like bring our companies together, Envision with them and Blueprint together, and really unite and use both of the powers that we have and all the assets that come along with each of us, put those together to build something bigger. So that's what we're doing here.
Making the dream work with the teamwork.
We building,
I
baby.
respect it.
Nah, we do. We do.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear the name Stacy, I think of the wood. And like you look nothing like Stacy.
Stacy, man, don't say my name.
He was thugging with the name Stacy, but sorry. But okay, so how did they meet? Cause you look so familiar.
I do look familiar.
He IG famous, low key. He be trying to act like all bougie and stuff.
No,
like,
he looks. I'm dead serious.
McCallum.
Nick, you
Whenever I
look
meet
familiar.
someone, they always
Taylor
say, like,
Lautner.
"Hey, do I know you from somewhere?" I'm just like, I don't know, honestly.
I feel like I seen you, and it's weird because I know we haven't met, but I just feel like I seen him before.
Seen him on
Maybe you
Shark Boy and
follow
Lava
me on
Girl.
Instagram.
See, like I said,
I might already follow you. That's probably
she
where
might
it
have
is.
double tapped the pic. Like she might have double
When we
tapped
go to break, we'll figure it out because literally I'm just gonna bother me the whole show. So how did you meet everybody, Nick?
So well, I like to go out. I like to party a lot. I like to go out and like,
That's your party dance?
Yeah.
I made
No,
beats.
people are like,
The Running Man challenge?
I made beats.
no, people
How
are
y'all
like,
doing?
hey, come out. They're like, hey, come out, like we're gonna go meet some people. And you're like, I'm kind of hesitant at first, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just go. Because you never know who you're gonna meet.
That's true.
So I walked into a kickback, and he mentioned it earlier, his best friend Wasim. And I looked at him like, man, this guy looks important. So
What does that look like though?
Yeah. What we look like?
He looks important.
I guess you ain't important, huh? I guess we don't look important.
No, so I went up to him like, hey, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I rap. And I was like, oh, that's dope. Like I'm just started producing because this was back in like December. So he's like, yeah, you should roll through. We meet up every Sunday. So I went over on Sunday and I met Stacy. I met him. Met Lijah. And then like a month later, then Dom started hanging out with us. So
Yeah, it took me.
The bromance is popping. I love
honestly,
it.
it's a blessing. Like I'm so glad they came in my life. Like you have no idea.
Hey man, you ain't gotta get all
That's
sexy.
what I'm saying. Oh my God. You guys just don't understand.
No, let him enjoy his bromance with y'all.
I need a tissue.
Stop.
Everything happens for a reason. That's why.
Hey, no, for real, man.
Seriously.
For real.
Okay.
We're with you.
So I think that's really dope. Y'all all meet each other. We're actually gonna go to another music break so we can get the seating arrangement down.
Hey.
Nah,
You know,
Because,
we're
you know.
a little reckless, but it's all good.
You
My live
know.
broadcast is struggling right now.
I can't lie, this is
I know.
fun. No, I'm glad the whole gang
I'm
in
glad.
here.
So, before we go to commercial break, since we're in the midst of Way Back Wednesday stories and hip hop, I'm going to let y'all choose it for the day. What Way Back Wednesday song represents y'all and y'all friendships?
Oh, snap.
That's a really good one.
yeah, that's a good song. Though.
Man, Paul in the pimps. I don't care.
Stop.
That's an old school. That's gonna be a classic. That's gonna be a classic.
Shoot. All right.
I can't even think of this track right now. I'm really drawing a blank.
Which one?
We sing it at the crib all the time. This is how we do it.
Ah!
It's Friday night.
Y'all wanna hear some
and
Montel
I
Jordan?
feel alright. The party's here on the west side.
You-
So I reach for my 40, then I turn it up. Designated traffic. Get this
We gonna
piece
let
of my
Montel sing it. Okay, we gonna let Montel
Yeah,
sing
feel
it.
me though.
Because, you know,
Oh
Montel,
yeah, he get them notes, you know.
yes.
We just mind our business. And literally, that was the first song on the set. Soon as the beat dropped, he forgot the words.
Oh my.
Did he freeze?
He froze, and I'm sitting there. He was like, and I looked at him, and I was like, oh, damn. We the big boys talking. But after that, I did a couple songs. Then Tommy came through. Then me and Tommy did our tracks and Dollar B. Then after that, shoot, it was 100. Then we was just running it. We had the crowd.
Moral
going.
of the story: be careful who you bring on stage.
Oh, man.
Yes, man. I will tell you
man.
this. People gonna remember that.
But you recover, because look what you're doing now.
Oh yeah, we always bounce back.
And in a year, that's really kind of fast progression.
What?
You know, some people to be on such a major, even though it's the first one, it's like normally that doesn't always transpire that quickly. You know, so big things are popping up, and you was here first.
That's how we do it, girl. You know how we do.
Now, I know everyone remembers their first rap that they wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people remember their least favorite rap that they wrote. So for you, what is your favorite rhyme and what is your most least favorite rhyme and why
My favorite rhyme.
that you wrote?
Ooh, damn. It's a song I got called "Smooth Nigga."
The one you sent me?
See, nah.
Doing the voice.
That was me.
That was your voice.
That's me.
I was like, why is he sounding like Cat Williams? But I thought it went with the ambiance of the song, so I did not question it.
Yeah, that's honestly my favorite
funny.
song, and I have to say my least favorite. Ooh, have to be a song Kodak. Yep, Kodak.
Okay.
Yeah, the first song that my partner messed up on.
We had our homeboy Wasim was on this track. He's on it with
Oh my
Stacy,
God.
and we did at least 300 takes of like just 4
Oh,
bars,
man.
and we were trying to get him to do it right, and nobody was ever satisfied. In fact, they ended up scrapping that part of the track. We're gonna go back and record it next week. But
Okay.
it's brutal honesty. But I mean, you can see how
It's all love,
fast
though.
everybody's
Yes.
gotten to where. Look at Elijah, like where he came in a year is because of this brutal honesty for the absolute best.
It's
That's
necessary.
what you have
It's
to.
necessary.
Because there's so many people that say that they're rappers out right now. I mean, you could look everybody in their bio like rapper. Here's my SoundCloud link. What makes people better than somebody else? What makes you stand out? And that's
Right.
when it's good versus great.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at.
I most definitely agree with that 100%. You need sometimes people to push you or support you, you know, when
Yeah.
needed, you know. So with that being said, you good? Because I know you tapping your foot a lot.
Oh yeah.
Are
I
you just
I move a lot.
you
Yeah.
like an energetic person?
Yeah,
I was
move a
like,
lot.
sometimes I have to ask because some people have nervous jitters and some people are just really energetic, and I just be like, okay,
My bad.
no, keep tapping. I just wanted to ask. Now, when did you first start the journey of creating your first album? How did that come about?
Literally right after I got hurt, I hit up Tommy.
He's like, I want to rap now.
Nah, yeah, cause I started like freestyling with him and stuff. But, And I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, so I'm trying to do this tape. And he was like, all right, bro, pull up. So he didn't know I was on crutches and stuff. I just had surgery. So I'm driving down there. My partner with me, he's like, bro, you really going to be doing this a lot? And I was like, man, I'm just going to be on crutches for like a couple weeks, bro. It's good. So I pull up on Tommy. He was like, damn, bro, like, what happened? I was like, hey, man, I'm just hurt, dinged up. So, hopped in his room. Then, shoot, that was September 2016.
Okay. And you just been checking ever since?
Yeah, man. Then my tape dropped January 20th, 2017. Then just been running.
Now, I mentioned to you earlier in the show that the one thing I like about your album is you have intros. And a lot of people are like, well, everyone has intros. But the 90s kids know all of the hip-hop albums had an intro. They have interludes. And they have them skits. And on a lot of your albums, you have all three of those. So I remember we were speaking about the Higher Learning intro portion. I believe it was off of your first LP. Correct me if I'm... No, your second LP. First LP. Now, why that specific scene? And if you haven't seen the movie Higher Learning, it had like Regina King. It's so many Reginas. Regina Hall. Regina King. It had Ice Cube, Busta Rhymes, and it's a very deep movie with different issues it tackled. But why did you decide to use that scene as your intro for that album?
Well, honestly, because, I was in Omar's position. I was an athlete.
Right.
So, I really I went to school to play ball. Like, honestly, that was the whole thing. I didn't really go to school to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to school for this and this. I honestly went to school to play football. Like, that's the
mic a little bit.
That's just the blatant truth. Like, I went to school for that. And so when I got hurt and I was making the tape, I was just happened to be watching Higher Learning, and like that scene with him and Ice Cube was talking, playing Monopoly, like felt like nostalgic, and I felt like I was just sitting there in the room with him, like damn, like that's what it really is. We get paid to play, and we really have to just stand up to this man for what? Then if we don't, they pull our scholarship away, and that's it.
I mean, it's really real out there. I mean, especially I can't imagine that types of pressure when you're an athlete, especially a student athlete. I feel like that's crazy. But people do it and get through it. It's just really tough. Now, how did that set the tone for your album and the ones preceding that? Because it seems like all of your LPs, you do have an intro, and it's kind of like a premise, like a preface to the story, You
asking like why?
Yeah. So in this day and age where people just hop into their tracks, there's not really a structure to the album, because back in the day of old hip hop, the album was like watching a movie. It was, and it was like a book. So you had your intro. The skits were strategically placed in it to tell a story. So for you, how does your intro set the tone for your albums?
Okay, so the Higher Learning one sets the intro to the album, because like at that time, I was not able to play no more, so I had those black thoughts, and that's why when you hear the first track, I got the mother effing black thoughts. I really rode for the Brody for the damn cause. I ride for my fucking homies, you know me, because that's how I felt at the time. Then when you hear Baby to the Game, the intro is my mom sending me a voice message, telling me to keep God first and everything, and just stay prayed up, because she knows the demons I battle and everything. So, like, she always just reminds me to, just stay prayed up. And she just stays in my ear. Shout out to my mama and my pops, you feel me? And my sisters, all three of them. Even
I know you're about to turn up for Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah. You know how we do. Shoot, get moms that sangria. Yeah. Get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, like, honestly, like, that's what set the tone. Like, just my mom, honestly. That's my rock. That's literally my everything.
You're mama's boy.
Yeah, mama's boy, of course.
That's sweet. I love, when people are close to their mothers, as am I. Oh, did you raise your hand? You were like, yes.
Oh, yeah, my pop's my dog, though. My dad, that's my dude. My pop's my dude.
I, too, am a daddy's girl, so I understand. Yeah. Now, for your mom, how supportive was she of you pursuing rap? Because I know she probably wanted you to go to school first and foremost.
Oh, yeah. At first, she was like, you really want to do this? And I was like, yeah, Mom, just want to try it just to see. Then, my dad, he same way. Like, they're real supportive of it from the jump. So they always just was supportive about it. They just made sure, like, you're still in school. Okay. And, like, do what you want to do outside of that. But, just handle your school stuff first.
Parents, I love parents who are supportive and can see the dream, because I know they see the potential. Or I feel like parents will be pretty honest and be like, you know what? You need to scratch that and pursue something you actually are good in. And, parents keep it real like that. Now, how do you classify yourself as a rapper?
Man.
I'm a heavy hitter. I'm sorry. You already
Underground.
know.
Classify me. Yeah, underground, real underground, honestly. But like mainstream people like me too a lot.
He's the nip. He's the next nip.
Now, for people in music and people who follow music, everyone knows about underground versus mainstream. It's kind of always been this eternal battle, with underground feeling like they're the more raw element, the more truth, and the mainstream is kind of like what the machine, if you will, puts together and mass produces. Now, for you, how do you feel underground is thriving in this generation?
Honestly, I'll be completely honest. Underground is a form of mainstream now.
Okay.
It really is to me. Like, because you really think about it, a lot of people listen to a lot of underground music. Like, a lot of underground rappers are just as big as mainstream.
Like a Tech 9.
Yeah, Tech 9. Boom. Perfect. Like, literally, like, people like that. Then you turn around, you look at people, you're like, this dude really doesn't have a deal or anything.
Like, how's his net worth bigger than this guy?
All
like,
these radio songs and all
Right.
that stuff, but still, bank account is exactly the same, if not more. Because he ain't got to get back to a label.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all his royalties.
Exactly.
But do you think there is more of a transition from being underground in the terms of what it was back then to more just independency? Because I feel like underground, if you compare it to like UGK, if you compare it to like really Nipsey and really people who did not even get any mainstream notoriety, they were just famous within their community, city, whatever. I feel like people are going more to independency, but not necessarily true. And it's hard to say because underground is very subjective. But do you think more so people are just learning how to become independent rather than adhering to underground music and really what it was purposed for, to really talk about things that people wouldn't even talk about when they got mainstream or whatever?
Honestly, yeah. That's very true.
Yeah, it's hard to be underground now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
because you're not really underground, you're independent. Underground means like only the people who are in your community know you.
Like, underground is kind of fading in our generation. Like, with social media, like, it's hard to not be known if you're good. It's not really underground. It's at that point you're more independent. So
both are respectable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like
definitely.
you can still be both, but I just feel like like underground music in terms of the content, in terms of the really its uniqueness, it's kind of fading.
The sound, the content,
And that's why
That's
I
real
liked
drowned out.
you, because it was like a throwback, and I always talk about 90s because that was a golden time.
The best.
What?
You had from the south, from the east, from the west, like it was just
Everywhere, every
Golden
direction.
era.
It was just
Right.
like boom, 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 boom.
And I feel like we still have remnants of that in artists like, Chance the Rapper, J. Cole, Kendrick. But then we also have this new wave of the Generation Zs that are coming in, kind of doing their own thing, which is cool. But I feel like you're more of a throwback and kind of true representation of what hip hop is supposed to be.
There you go.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Elijah's
that.
super unique in that way because,
Yes.
I mean, we were talking about this before I've been gone for a while. I'm finally back. This is my first day back in California in a while. And we were talking about authenticity when it comes to rap. Like, you listen to a lot of rappers now that, I mean, somebody who's just on SoundCloud, like, they're not even that big, but they're rapping about stuff that isn't true to themselves. The way that Lijah and Stacy, everybody in Envision too, the way that everybody's been rapping, we have like this really cool connection between the modern day sound, which is trap, anything, like Migos, something really popular. But if you listen to the lyrics, they are 100% authentic. We were talking about this when we would say like, oh no, scratch that one word because it ruins the, like, is that true? Is that really true?
Yeah.
So you're getting this nice blend of things that are authentic to them and what really makes them who they are. But you can still, bump this track.
Yeah.
And it's a hype track.
We're
It's
trying
poppin'.
to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
And you still sound like you. I feel like with people, I think rappers sometimes get nervous because look, I understand people got to eat. People got to make a dollar. So I never will say if you have the opportunity to make as much money as you can, turn it down. I will if it's going to kind of diminish you in certain areas. But other than that, yes, get your money. But I feel like when I hear all of your stuff, I hear you. I don't really hear anyone else. I don't hear like the typical cadence that a lot of rappers use now. I feel like I hear Lijah, and I feel like he knows how to ride the tracks. You're very good about picking your records, because I feel like that some records doesn't go with everybody. And I feel like that's very good. It's good to have the people who produce for you and come up with your tracks because they know what you sound like, and that's a very ode to a good producer. is if they can pick a track that really fits that artist. Now, how does each of your albums represent you? And does that version of you adjust or change as time goes on?
Oh, well, like I said, Black Thoughts was just, a time where I was just going through dark thoughts at that time being, because, couldn't do what I wanted to honestly do anymore.
Bless you.
So I really had to, turn to something else, because, like, I'll be honest, I've always felt like I couldn't have a regular job. Like, I don't see myself working a 9 to 5, honestly. Like, doing
no
that
shade
as a
to
career,
the 9 to 5,
like,
but
it's no shade. It's really no shade, but
right.
honestly, like, that's how I always felt. Like, I don't know, like, even ever since I was a kid, I'd be, like, seeing my mom and dad going to work every day, and it's like, it's the same pattern. Like, literally the same pattern.
You look like you need, like, change.
Yeah,
you probably
like,
were good at Google, because they got, like, bounty stuff.
Yeah.
Or so I've heard.
Yeah, like,
so I've heard. Google really knows how to simulate that creative, different
yeah,
style
so, like,
of working.
it was just always like that. Then Baby to the Game was like, Black Thoughts, I did shows and stuff, and Baby to the Game was like, okay, like, I really want to pursue this, so I am a baby to this. So
right.
you guys are going to hear me, but at the same time, like, we are new to this, so, we coming slowly but surely.
Right.
Then my next little project that I'm working on is called Black Thoughts 2, which is a spinoff from the first one, which is basically...
But your leg's better.
Yeah. And it's funny? I was sitting there talking to my uncle, and like the whole context behind this third one is like, a rehabilitation. Like, this time I'm going to talk about that day when my cousin was killed. I'll be talking about all the other stuff, like losing my close ones and everything. So every situation that I dealt with, I'm really going to talk about.
You're going to put the nuance in there.
Yeah. And
May I ask, how did your cousin pass?
So he, crazy part is he, was defending somebody else, and a dude came over there. Crazy part, he didn't even shoot at him directly. He shot at the ground trying to scare people. Bullet ricocheted off, hit him in the stomach, and he bled out. And I was on the freeway. It was when I woke up like at 1 a.m, like literally right after it happened. And I was just on the freeway driving, and my sister just called me. She was like, "Buddy's gone." And it was weird because I was on the 101. Nobody was around me or nothing. I just stopped on the freeway. Nobody was around me. It was just pitch black on the freeway. And I was like, what? Then, yeah, like, literally. It's crazy. It's just, oof. Rest in peace, buddy.
Oh, my gosh. My condolences, sincerely. And it's good that you're in a place now where you can kind of filter that into your music, because that's too much of a common story. It really is.
It is. I love Nip Hussle.
You would stand for Nipsey?
Man.
I respect it.
Man, that's my dude. I like Dom Kennedy a lot. Currency. I love Currency a lot because I love cars too as well. And that dude really, he got a car. Man. He got a car for every day of the month. Like, it don't matter. He like, man, what's good? Man. Yeah, like, that's what I honestly listen to. I listen to more just,
right.
I say hip hop, laid back music, and a dab of trap. You feel me? S.O.B.
You straight out
RBE.
West Coast.
You feel me?
Now, I feel like I'm gonna get into this in a minute because I have a question about that. When you do your pimp voice, it reminded me a lot of Drew Down. So, if you don't know who Drew Down is, he's an old school rapper, and his whole persona was a pimp persona. Now, how do you incorporate a lot of the music you listen to and kind of the styles you hear in terms of production into your music and make it your own?
We all just put our little spin on it. Huh? You feel me? Like, we all just added our own little flavor to it. Like, that was our own thing. Like, we all have, like, people that we do listen to and, like, that we look up to.
Right.
But it's really, like, you take pieces from each person that you like. So, like, you'll take a piece from Dom. You'll take a piece from Nip. You'll take a piece from Currency. You'll take a piece from Pac. You'll take a piece from Kendrick. You just take pieces. It's not like you literally biting a style. You just literally learn what they did. You unlearn to learn yourself, like to teach yourself. So that's literally how I look at it. I just teach myself on how to better myself by the day because
you're studying your craft.
Studying my craft. So it's like either I want to be good at it or great. And it's too easy to be good, but it's hard to be great.
I don't know how easy to be good, but good can be subjective, so I'm going to be quiet on that. Now, you have, like I said before, a lot of pimp references in your music.
Called pimping, baby.
And I just have to ask you, are you a pimp by definition?
No, I'm not a pimp. I can say it like this. Player. Feel me? No, I'm playing.
Not yet.
I'll be honest.
Remember, your mama's probably gonna see this.
Oh, hey, mom's on the IG live. She see it. You know what I'm talking about? Mom's no, I ain't gonna front. But no, honestly, like that's just my persona because honestly, that's just how it's fun to me. It's fun to me to be like that. Like, and honestly, I get to be myself when I do it.
Okay.
It's like literally like a cartoon to me. See, nah.
I cannot. That voice is killing me now. You know. Now, on a more serious note, even though you're saying for you, it's just like kind of a cool, funny persona while you do your music. But why do you think so much pimp culture is expressed in your music? And like I said, this is not new material. Yeah. A lot of rappers do it, but for you personally, why do you insert that in your music?
All right, on my mom's side, shout you out, moms again. My granny was a madam.
Oh.
So, you know.
She was a Mama D.
Yeah, Lady Pimp. So, and, you know, that was just, you know, my uncle was a pimp. My cousin was a pimp. Like, you know, I wasn't around them like that, like the hoes and stuff.
So you were a pimp named Slickback.
If
you ever seen the Boondocks, if you ever seen the Boondocks, there's a pimp named Slickback. You had to say the whole thing, played by Cat Williams, and he had broke it down to Riley and the grandfather that he had came from a long line of pimps. And I'm looking at Lijah T because you never, ladies beware because you never think that. No, I'm playing. But I mean, it is what it is. But I just asked that because I like to see the patterns in people's music. I feel like if you see a pattern, you can kind of get to know the artist. Yeah. You know, because I didn't take you for a person who was very inauthentic with their rhymes. I feel like you've had too much pride for that. So I just had to ask, why did you? Hold on. I had a little bit of a technical issue. The audio's. We're back. So
we live, baby.
The audio had a little bit of a weird static motion, and I had to turn that down because that was just killing everyone's ears. And Mr. Nick over here has just been chilling like he didn't just hear all of us.
I'm in the back. I'm chilling.
He makes beats.
I'm all good.
And he looks like an Abercrombie Fish model. And I, you know what? It's weird because I really feel like I've seen you before.
I don't know.
You probably up there at the mall somewhere, a little Abercrombie thing, and didn't want to tell us you did a little
no,
thing.
You know what? I went to a predominantly vanilla high school, and
he was there.
And a lot of the boys that I went to school with look like you. Well, not like you.
Come on.
I'm serious. Like, you look like the Wilson. I used to go to Wilson High School. Shout out Wilson. You look like the Wilson boys I went to school with. So that's why I know you probably didn't go there, but you just.
I went to Simi Valley High School.
Oh, don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud.
I'm trying to think because I used to cheer, and I don't think we went to Mission Viejo. That's the farthest we went when we cheered, but not Simi Valley.
Nobody going to Simi Valley.
Nobody.
You know,
no one likes Simi.
Whatever. So, okay, so you kind of like are more comfortable with pimping since it's kind of like in your blood or family tree rather.
Falls deep in the roots.
Pimping in the blood.
Pimping in the blood. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
that's a track name right there, bro.
Now you're not shy to women.
No. 3 sisters.
Are you the youngest of them? So you're the baby.
The baby.
Okay. Do they treat you like the baby?
Yeah.
You're spoiled.
To an extent.
Oh, I always know boys who have older sisters are extremely spoiled and coddled. But that's cool because, I mean, when it's the girl, that's the baby, who have older brothers is that way too. I know that you like the women, and you actually have a song called LA Girl. Now, for you, what are your 3 top favorite things in an LA Girl?
Ooh.
Didn't we just have the?
We just had this talk, bro.
Literally. Honestly,
maybe
it's
2 hours.
like,
yeah.
It's just the attitude. The attitude, like, you know, that little stank on. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta be like, all right, you gotta have your P's and Q's.
They hustlers.
Yeah, they hustlers. Honestly,
It's too expensive out here.
Yeah, their attitude.
You need someone to go half on the house with you.
Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Attitude, you know, their style, you know, of course, you gotta keep up with yourself a little bit. I ain't saying I'm the most flashiest individual, but, you know, just make yourself look presentable.
Okay.
And honestly,
so I did this with Only Talking Dollars Entertainment. They were here on my last show.
Shout out to OTD.
Yes. I did a thing where a game where I actually want to do two things. I want to ask you about some slang I heard in your music that was repetitive in the sense they were terms you use quite often. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to actually ask you what they mean, because being a little girl who's not from, straight up from LA or the Bay, I'm just a little bit need some clarity. Now, I did Urban Dictionary this stuff, so I know now.
Oh my.
She bust out the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, you had me prepared.
I'm not saying.
She's like, yeah, I want to know. So you gonna tell me this? He said what?
Yeah.
Pop
So
quiz.
let's get into it. I always wanted to know what this is. Lolo.
A Lolo?
Yeah.
Low rider.
Why do you call it? I guess because it go low.
Yeah, like it's a Lolo. Like, you feel me? Like, you just pull up in that Lolo, hit the switch, got it dropping in. That's
Okay. I heard this one before. Brody.
Brody, my bro.
Bro. Okay. Top.
Top. Like, what you mean?
Uh-oh.
It's a reference.
Okay. Just let's say in the sense of the colloquial that normally men use when talking to their male counterparts.
Oh yeah, I got topped off. Like,
What does that mean?
I mean, you getting head.
Okay. Moving on.
I'm sorry.
She asked a question.
You gotta tell
She
it.
asked it.
She went back to it and everything.
Okay, Mr. Lawyer, I'll be here.
Hey, that's why.
He is, he is,
That's
So
why
then
we
he
got
was
done.
like, well,
She literally asked him. She went back to it.
plotting.
Plotting?
Yes.
Like, you politicking, like, you thinking of, like, how to, you plot.
You just use another slang term to describe
I'm
another slang term.
I'm sorry.
It's politicking, and I've heard that. But for other people
Okay.
who maybe are urbanly challenged,
Okay, so plotting, like, you putting your little moves together.
Scheming.
moves, scheming. You're using
I'm
slang.
sorry. I use too much slang. It's hard.
Okay,
I'm
now
stuck.
you adding on. Two people gonna be like scheming, slipping
Like
through the dictionary.
Make a plan. Make a
Plan.
plan.
Making a plan. I'm sorry.
plan.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. That's why we
Nick,
need you.
Nick came in with a suburban
Nick from
answer.
Simi
And
Valley.
that's why,
everyone.
and that's why he
That's
makes
why we need
beats.
Nick. Speaks when he needs.
Okay, well, that was. I'm glad we had that little slang session.
That was
So
only
if
3
you didn't
words?
know- First of all,
was like-
it was 5.
Was that 5 already?
It was 5.
All right.
It actually
We
6
added some.
because you added like
Scheming.
scheming, politicking, but I think politicking is kind of self-explanatory, So, with that being said, I'm gonna actually have you freestyle because before the show, you said you could freestyle. I know you do it on your albums too. So I'm going to let you pick the beat because I don't want no excuses. Like, that's not my track. No, but it can't be your own track, so it has to be another instrumental.
Let's go with Gangstar.
Gang.
Let's go. Yeah, let's come with the mass appeal.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Guru. Shout out to DJ Premier.
Okay.
And no, I'm not pulling up no.
I was about to
no
say,
lyrics,
it's a freestyle. We gotta keep it,
So I'm gonna do this. Here.
Ah!
So
Dang.
You know, line.
How comfortable are you with your freestyle?
Huh?
How comfortably are you with freestyling? Cause I wanna play a little game.
You wanna do 5 Fingers of Death?
No.
Oh, okay. How about that? I'm ready.
Are
He
you?
was ready.
I said, she gonna hit me with that. You know, we do
Oh, you
stuff.
want to give him names and he starts rapping? Okay.
Damn.
I see, I'm on top of it. I'm one step ahead. I'm
Get
one
out of
step
here,
ahead.
Nick.
Nick
know what
was
I'm
in. I'm like,
saying?
well, dang.
I'm one step ahead.
Okay, I have actually a pen in my purse.
Oh.
I got everything in my purse. And I wasn't going to do this, but I feel like I have a lot of people just freestyle. And I feel like he's really confident because he gave me his phone and we not even like that. But I know.
Oh, shit. Nobody know I'm cheating or
Yeah. But, because guys don't just pass over their phones. They know they're ready. But since we are on the fact of freestyling, you're so comfortable, I'm going to, Nick, I'm going to write my own words.
Just watch it
And-
out.
Dang.
Put me on blast.
Yeah, most definitely I am.
Put me on.
You gotta give him a good word though.
It's gonna be like.
How is your
It's gonna
vocabulary?
be like top. It's gonna be like.
No, how good is your vocabulary?
It's not.
Be honest, because I'm not
it's
gonna
like
give you no college words if you're not comfortable.
It's like a 7.
Like a 7.
Come on, man.
I ain't gonna front with myself. Like, shoot, it's like a 7.
Give him an 8.
No, see, because I'm gonna get a word out. I'm gonna be like, nope, can't even say it.
I'm going to give you a variety of things. It's gonna be random, and You want to make your own beat, or you just want to still rap on a beat? I'm still trying to think of words. I feel like you can make it work. They're not hard. They're actually places.
I'm not looking.
Okay, you know, had I this is really actually just improv, y'all, because I really want to see his skills, and if he could do this, then shoot.
Oh, I mean, I'm the pimp. This the poet next to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I go. We just the poet and the pimp, baby.
You guys like making beats? That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, I'm just gonna flip it. Can you read my writing? Yes.
Kind of moving a little
Sloppy.
fast.
That's sloppy.
Yeah.
That's so.
Don't.
Dang,
Don't
Nick.
play me. Don't play me.
That's what happens when you go to Simi Valley High.
Don't play me. Could you read this?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. So you just gonna name it off?
If you could read it, you can just.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you just want me to incorporate those words. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. My bad.
Dang.
Steph Curry, California.
Africa.
Counterpart. Africa.
Motherland.
Motherland.
So here's the beat.
Hey, there it is.
Hey. 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 Cause I'm a beat jacker. Said I'm a beat jacker. Check. Alright, she gonna put me on blast. So this how we gonna do it. I said, I'm Curry from the line, and these niggas think I'm fucking scary. The baby face assassin, yeah, you know I'm coming out the killer, California, yeah. Just looking for my junk, she rolling with that counterpart. I'm really trying to get it on. She trying to get up to the motherland. I really took her to Africa, and she just trying to get shooker. And every time I run up in that chick, I swear I just shook her. And I'm just rolling with my brodies, and I keep it so quicker. And I'm just smoking and flowing, I just keep it going, rolling with my brodies, and we always rhyming till the morning. And all my niggas just in and out just like a drop through. I'm talking chicks, yeah, I got them thick like Badu. Walking through my house, yeah, naked, that's just a window seat. And I'm just talking all this shit, you know I keep it G. I'm standing 10 toes down in my feet, and I'm just rolling with my brother, and I keep it rapping so low key. And I'm just talking and walking and get to stalking. I'm just smacking on these chicks, and they coming straight from New Orleans, though. I'm really rolling with my brody, bro. I'm just a pimp poet, where you at? Just let these little niggas know.
Okay. Well, excuse me.
He wasn't lying.
And Nick is just over here.
I'm just like,
You're so valley.
Nick's like, that's my boy.
The way Nick looked at me was priceless. He was like, told you it was fire, right? The hype is too real. Oh, well, thank you guys for coming. It was really fun having everybody.
For sure.
It was a really great show, and I loved how actually, even though y'all was late, y'all was still on time.
That's how, I'm sorry, you know black folks.
You wasn't late.
That's
Elijah was early. He
running, I was like,
he was running. I was like,
damn, I can't find you.
No, I can
like
attest
20
to that.
minutes. It took us 20 minutes to find
Oh, okay, so we driving down here, right?
Oh, man.
So we sitting in traffic.
Oh my god.
And Dom is sitting there. He like, bro,
Oh, snap.
I gotta pee.
Oh,
you have no idea.
I can't hold it. So we tell him to pull over on the side of the freeway.
We didn't mean
girls don't have that option.
We didn't mean run up on the curb
like
like
run up on the curb, and then he was like, boom, all in the dirt, rolling. Then you know,
driving up a hill.
Why you put him on blast like that?
It's funny.
Yo, I put them on blast. We almost hit that wall, man. I had to go.
This dude slammed the door so hard, almost bust his window out, and took off running like a Muppet. Like,
Hey, you
Why
know,
didn't you just give him a bottle?
huh?
I did. I gave him a bottle. He was
I'm
like,
gonna be honest. I'm not comfortable being like, yo, can you hold this for me? I'm driving. Like, no.
You know, in
We
the white
close,
people
but we not that close.
You know, the white people in the
horror
running in them
movies?
scary movies.
the horror movie.
That's Dom. He was like. Then Nick was sitting there. He was like, you know what? He's like, man, I gotta pee.
He was like, I kind of gotta go too.
We see Nick sitting there chilling, hand on the wall, looking at the traffic. Like, man, this is a nice day.
Nick was chilling.
hey, I'm not gonna lie though. I don't care.
Dom ran way around the corner. Nick just
chilling.
I don't care. I'm
Nick on the side of the freeway. Just
I'm
like,
chilling.
I
Yeah, good
can't.
times.
These are boy problems. See, women, we don't have the option. We gotta go. You pretty much stuck unless you just that comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not much you can do. Now, but I'm glad y'all made it nevertheless. It was good speaking with all of y'all. So we're gonna start with you, Mr. Quiet, Mr. Nick.
What's up?
How can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram.
this
If
dude.
you do at
Oh man.
Nick NICK Raigoza, Raigoza.
That man.
I get that later.
I'll take that down later.
Nick Raigoza, yes. And I go by Nick Rage.
Nick Ray.
Oh, Nick,
Yeah.
I see you. I see you over there trying to get that brown sugar on. You know what I'm talking about?
He winked at her. He
He
winked.
winked at her.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't even catch it. I was
Look,
looking
look,
He,
there.
he flexes the Hollister muscles.
I know he's trying to look. He's like, hey, it's Nick. It's Nick. You know, you can follow me.
Nick Rage.
I just noticed his pitch got lower. I was like,
He said,
See, look.
I was like, maybe he's trying to put on a sexy voice for the ladies listening out
I'll
there.
show you why they call me Rage.
Go on, Elijah. How can people find you, Elijah?
You can find me on Instagram at Lijah Turner, Turner, Lijah.Turner. I'm on SoundCloud at Lijah Turner. But on all them other platforms, you feel me, just type in Lijah T and your boy name gonna pop up. And you're gonna have some slappers on there. Hey, tap in with me though.
And a recap, I don't know if I asked OTD what a slapper is, but slappers is like bangers, really good music or anything that's really cool.
Yes.
Cold.
Right.
Cold pimping, baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, how can they find you, Mr. Stacy?
I go by Pat Savvy. P-A-T.
You just didn't want to know.
Yeah, like-
Stacy. He's like, nah.
That ain't my name.
Say my name.
I know you be heated when your mom go there, Stacy.
I'm like, Mama, it's Pat Savvy.
It's Patrick.
She hit you without not one of your little friends.
Yep. She's like, I named you Stacey. That's what I'm gonna
Which,
call
in
you.
all fairness, Stacy is a unisex name, just like Courtney. Didn't know that.
I got a boy named Courtney. He be coming and
Yeah.
visiting. He's from New Orleans. Shout out to Courtney. No, but you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everything under PATSAVII. Look me up and you gonna find some slappers on there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
though.
Hey.
You feel me?
How about you, Mr. Egypt?
You
AKA
can find me-
Mr. Egypt.
I'm dumb.
No,
I'm
you can
dumb.
find me on
Touch.
Instagram, 24 on the track. Same with Twitter.
Mr.
And
Tut.
I believe Snap is Coffee Lover 24 because I'm addicted to coffee.
No surprise there.
Nope. Life of a music producer.
Starbucks or Coffee Bean?
Starbucks, no question. Yo, I'm sorry.
Starbucks is good for Frappuccino. I don't know
Hey
about
man,
coffee.
hey. I'm from the Seattle
No,
area.
I
I know
make-
y'all ain't knocking Starbucks right now.
Okay, listen.
Coffee
I
bean.
make my own coffee.
Thank
you.
I do my own
Okay.
coffee.
My
I
own
grind my own
coffee.
beans. I pick it up from the store.
Wow.
Starbucks is just convenient.
Right.
Starbucks is what else?
Starbucks has
Extra.
the best Frappuccinos.
Extra,
though.
yeah.
Thank you.
No, I know.
I like coffee.
I've been to
beans.
Starbucks
Coffee
3 times.
beans.
Coffee
No,
beans
I'm not
cheaper
gonna
too.
front.
Honestly.
I like coffee
Not gonna
Coffee beans
front.
a little bit cheaper. You feel?
It is though,
Yeah.
and they give you the option of actually having a legitimate small.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, Starbucks?
Yeah, Starbucks, you know. Well, Coffee Bean has even smaller. Sometimes I don't want to pay $4 for a tall.
Coffee
Sometimes
Bean.
I want an extra small.
Yeah.
You know. So that's how you can find all these lovely males in here. You can find me, your girl Angelica Cheyenne, aka the Chocolate Diva, on all platforms. You can find me on Snapchat. That's simply the Coco Diva. That's Coco with an H. You can follow me on Facebook at Angelica Cheyenne, the Chocolate Diva. On Twitter, Angelica CC Diva, or on Instagram at simply the Chocolate Diva. I know you about to follow me, Nick. Now.
Nick got the phone ready.
Diva,
I have it ready.
Hey Nick, you better go get that brown
No,
sugar.
anyway, like, we are going to get up out of here actually with one of my favorite songs from Lijah T. I was trying to decide between Game 5 or
that's a classic.
Like I Never Left.
Hey.
But I'm going to go with Like I Never Left just because I like the vibe of the
Hey.
song. So here it is, Like I Never Left by Lijah T. Everyone have a happy Wednesday. I will be back next week. And enjoy y'all Easter Sunday.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Man, it's been a long ass road, bro. Back in this bitch like I never left.